The year was 1845, and the Irish village of Kilrowan seemed forgotten by the rest of the world. Nestled between rolling green hills and a restless sea, its people lived simply. Fishermen cast their nets at dawn. Women scrubbed clothes in cold rivers, and children played barefoot in the dirt, their laughter carrying through the fog. In one small thatched cottage lived Aidan O'Donnell, 17, tall and thoughtful, and his younger brother Liam, 15, lively and untamed. They were poor but rich in spirit. Their mother, Maura, held the household together with sheer strength of will after their father had died years earlier in a mining accident. Every night, before blowing out the oil lamp, she whispered the same words. "Stick together no matter what. Brothers are each other's anchor in the storm." Neither Aidan nor Liam knew just how heavy those words would soon become. One mist-heavy evening, the brothers lingered at the docks helping mend fishing nets. The air smelled of salt and rotting seaweed, gulls circling overhead. That's when Aidan noticed him, a man in a dark cloak, his hat pulled low, standing as still as a statue by the pier. Liam, ever curious, walked straight up to him. "Sir, are you lost?" he asked. The man's face was partly hidden, his eyes shadowed, his voice raspy. "Not lost, lad. Searching for those who dare." "Dare what?" Aidan asked warily. "The marsh," the man whispered. "The forgotten marsh. A place few tread, and fewer return. It calls to those who burn with restlessness. But beware. The marsh asks for payment." Liam's eyes sparked with fascination, but Aidan felt a chill run through him. Something in the man's words sounded less like warning, more like prophecy. Later that night, in their cottage, the brothers sat by the small fire. The mysterious stranger's words still echoed in their minds. Liam leaned forward, eyes glowing with excitement. "Don't you see, Aidan? This is our chance. Maybe there's treasure, maybe answers, maybe even freedom from this life." Aidan frowned, clutching their father's old compass in their hand. "Or maybe it's death waiting for us." "You heard him. Few return. That doesn't sound like treasure, Liam. But Ma works herself to the bone. We could change everything for her." Liam's voice softened. "Don't you want to give her more than this life of struggle?" Aidan stared into the fire, torn. Finally, he sighed. "If we go together. Promise me. No running ahead, no leaving me behind." Liam clasped his brother's hand. "Promise. Always." The following dawn, the village was quiet under a blanket of fog. The boys slipped away unnoticed. Their boots squelched as they stepped into the marshland, a place most villagers avoided. The air grew heavy, damp, carrying a faint odor of decay. Long reeds swayed, although no breeze stirred. Strange bird calls echoed, sounding more like cries than songs. Aidan walked carefully, marking their path with small cuts on tree bark, while Liam darted ahead, laughing as mud splashed. "You'll thank me when we're rich, brother," Liam shouted, his voice half playful, half defiant. But Aidan couldn't shake the feeling that each step pulled them deeper into something unnatural. Even the compass needle wavered, spinning faintly as if confused. The marsh felt alive, watching, waiting. After hours of trudging, the brothers stumbled upon a sight that made them freeze. Rising out of the marsh like a ghost was the skeleton of an old ship, its hull cracked and leaning, its mast broken like a crooked cross. "Look at this!" Liam gasped, rushing forward. "A wreck!" Maybe from centuries ago. Inside the ship's remains, they found splintered crates, rusted tools, and a scattering of coins blackened by age. But what caught Aidan's attention was a leather-bound journal wrapped in oilskin. He opened it carefully. The handwriting inside was jagged and frantic. It spoke of sailors trapped, hearing voices, seeing lights in the fog. The final page chilled him. Two must become one, or both are lost forever. Aidan's face paled. "Liam, this isn't right. We should leave." But Liam's hands were already full of tarnished coins, his eyes alight with dreams. As they left the wreck, the fog thickened unnaturally, curling around them like grasping fingers. That's when they saw them, dark figures in the mist, tall, motionless, watching. Liam whispered, "Do you see them?" "Yes," Aiden replied, gripping the compass. "Don't look too long. Just keep moving." But no matter where they turned, the figures multiplied. They stood at the edges of vision, flickering, dissolving whenever the boys tried to focus on them. Finally, Liam's nerves broke. He shouted, "Who are you? What do you want?" The marsh answered with a sound, a long, low moan that wasn't quite human. The figures flickered once more, then vanished into nothing. Aiden exhaled shakily. "We should have never come." For the first time, even Liam wasn't sure he wanted to keep going. The marsh narrowed into a black pool too wide to cross, but stretching over it was something like a bridge, roots twisted together, slick and tangled. Beneath the surface, faint lights shimmered, glowing like stars trapped underwater. "Looks safe enough," Liam said, stepping onto the roots. "Safe doesn't glow like that," Aiden muttered, following reluctantly. Halfway across, the water stirred. Pale, skeletal hands reached up, brushing against the roots. The brothers froze. Dozens of faces appeared beneath the water, eyes hollow, mouths wide in silent screams. "Don't look down!" Aiden hissed. But Liam did, and nearly slipped. Only Aiden's hand on his arm kept him steady. Heart pounding, they sprinted the rest of the way. When they reached solid ground, Liam forced a shaky laugh. "Well, that was something." Aiden's jaw tightened. He wasn't laughing. On solid ground, silence hung between them. Finally, Aiden burst out, "This is madness, Liam!" "We could have died on that bridge. We should turn back now." But Liam shook his head. "And go back with nothing?" "No, Aiden. We're close. I can feel it." "Close to what? A grave?" Aiden snapped. Liam's eyes flashed. "You're too afraid to live. You're always holding back, always doubting. Maybe you don't want more for Ma, but I do." The words cut deep. Aiden stared at his brother, anger and hurt twisting in his chest. "Don't you dare say I don't care for her. I'd give my life for her, and for you." But Liam turned away, jaw set. For the first time, their bond felt fragile, stretched thin by pride and fear. As night descended, the marsh grew darker, colder. Then, through the fog, a lantern flickered, a warm, golden glow, like a beacon. Exhausted and desperate, the brothers followed it. The light led them to a crooked tree where a single lantern swung, though no one held it. Beneath the tree sat a small wooden box. Liam opened it, eager. Inside was a silver locket. He clicked it open and froze. Inside were two tiny painted portraits, two boys who looked nearly identical to themselves. Aiden's breath caught. How is that possible?" Before either could speak, the lantern flickered out. The marsh roared to life with whispers. Dozens, hundreds, closing in. The brothers clung to each other. They were no longer alone. Out of the fog stepped a figure unlike any they had seen. Tall, draped in reeds and black moss, its face hidden behind a mask of bone. The air around it shimmered with cold. "You should not have come," the figure hissed, its voice echoing as if carried by many mouths at once. "This place remembers. It takes what it is owed." Aiden held his brother close. "We didn't mean harm. We just want to leave." The figure raised one long, reed-wrapped arm, pointing directly at Liam. "One heart burns too bright. The marsh will have its due. One must remain, or both shall vanish forever." Liam's face drained of color. "What does that mean?" The figure's voice boomed like thunder, final and unyielding. "One must be sacrificed." The keeper's bone mask glinted faintly in the lantern's dying light. Its words clung to the brothers like chains. "One must remain, or both shall vanish." Liam swallowed hard. Maybe this is what the journal meant. Maybe it's me. Aiden shook his head violently. Don't you dare say that. We promised, we stick together. The keeper's voice rolled like distant thunder. The marsh is old. It feeds on fire. The younger burns brightest. His flame will satisfy. Liam met his brother's eyes. Aiden, maybe this is why we came. Maybe this is the price. Aiden's heart pounded. The thought of life without his brother was unthinkable. No, I won't choose you, and I won't let them take me either. There has to be another way. The keeper's arm extended once more. Choose, or vanish together. The marsh waited for its answer. The ground shook. The black water at their feet rippled as if boiling. The marsh was running out of patience. Aiden tightened his grip on Liam's arm and shouted at the keeper. You'll take neither of us. We're brothers. We belong together. The keeper tilted its head slowly, almost curiously. Defiance. Rare. But the marsh's hunger. It does not bargain. Suddenly the ground beneath them split. Muddy water surged upward like claws, wrapping around their legs. The marsh itself was dragging them under. Liam screamed, struggling. It's pulling us down. Aiden held tight to his brother's hand. If we go together. The keeper's hollow eyes glowed faintly. Then, together, you shall vanish. And in one swift motion, the brothers were swallowed by the marsh. When Aiden opened his eyes, he was no longer choking on water. Instead, he stood in a vast, glowing field filled with fragments of memory. Children's laughter echoed. He saw himself and Liam running barefoot through summer grass, chasing butterflies. He heard his father's voice singing a work song. He saw his mother rocking Liam as a baby, her lullaby soft as the wind. Liam appeared beside him, wide-eyed. Aiden, this is us, our whole lives. But then, shadows crept across the memories, eating them away piece by piece. Each laugh, each song, each smile dissolved into nothingness. This isn't heaven, Aiden whispered. His chest tightened. It's a trap. Liam's face hardened. They're trying to make us forget. If we forget who we are, we'll never escape. The shadows surged, splitting into shapes that looked like twisted versions of themselves. Dark Aiden and Dark Liam advanced, sneering. A voice boomed, Only one may leave. Only one may carry the memories. Choose. The brothers backed up, shoulder to shoulder. No, Aiden said firmly. We don't choose. We came here together. We leave together. The shadows lunged, trying to pry them apart. Aiden and Liam clung to each other, fighting against the pull. Remember the promise, Aiden shouted. Always together, Liam yelled through gritted teeth. They can't divide us unless we let them. The shadows faltered, shrinking back as if scorched by their unity. The marsh recoiled at their bond. But it wasn't finished yet. Suddenly, the ground beneath Liam cracked open, revealing a void of swirling blackness. The force yanked him downward. Aiden! Liam screamed, his hands clawing desperately at the air. Aiden threw himself down, grabbing his brother's arm with both hands, his muscles strained, veins standing out in his neck. I won't let go. The pull was too strong. Liam's eyes filled with tears as he looked up at his brother. Aiden, you have to. If one of us stays, the other lives. That's the choice. No, don't say that, Aiden sobbed, holding tighter. We can beat this, together. But Liam smiled faintly, through fear and pain. Sometimes, keeping a promise means breaking it. With a sudden jerk, he pulled his own hand free. Aiden screamed as his brother fell into the void, vanishing into darkness. Aiden woke on the marsh's edge, coughing up mud and water. His body ached, but he was alive. He sat up, gasping, and realized the locket lay on his chest. When he opened it, only one portrait remained, his own. Liam! He screamed into the fog, his voice cracked with despair. Liam! Only silence answered. The marsh was still again, as if nothing had happened. Aiden clutched the locket to his chest, sobbing until his throat burned. His brother was gone. The marsh had taken him. And yet, deep inside, Aidan felt a flicker of warmth, as if Liam's fire still burned somewhere within him. When Aidan staggered back into Kilrowan, the villagers gasped at his battered state. His mother, Maura, rushed to him, wrapping him in her arms. "Where is Liam?" she whispered, her voice trembling with dread. Aidan's silence told her everything. She wept against his chest, her cries echoing through the cottage. Days bled into weeks. Aidan worked the fields silently, his eyes hollow. Nights were worse. Dreams haunted him with Liam's laughter and the moment he let go. But one night, he dreamed of Liam standing in golden light, smiling gently. His brother's voice whispered, "Don't waste the life I gave you. Live for both of us." Aidan woke in tears, but for the first time he understood. Years passed. Aidan grew into a man, his hair dark at first, then streaked with gray. He married, raised children, and worked the land, but he never stopped speaking of Liam. Around the fire, he told his children of their uncle, brave, reckless, and full of fire. He told them how Liam believed adventure was worth the risk, and how love was worth any sacrifice. "Courage," Aidan would say, "isn't about being fearless. It's about choosing to protect someone, even when you're afraid." Through his stories, Liam lived on. His fire became their family's guiding light. And though grief never fully left Aidan, neither did pride. His brother's sacrifice had carved strength into him. One stormy evening, decades later, an old Aidan walked by the marsh. His joints ached, his hair white, but something pulled him back to that cursed place. Through the mist, he saw it again, a lantern flickering on the crooked tree. Heart pounding, he approached. The silver locket hung from a branch. With trembling hands, Aidan opened it. This time, both portraits were there. His own and Liam's, both smiling. Aidan fell to his knees, tears streaming. He whispered into the fog, "You never left me, did you?" For the first time in years, he felt peace. Not long after, Aidan passed away in his sleep, surrounded by children and grandchildren. His final breath carried one word: Liam. The villagers remembered the O'Donnell brothers as legend, one who vanished, one who lived, bound forever by love. They spoke of the marsh with fear, but also reverence. It had demanded sacrifice, but it had revealed something greater. That true love, true brotherhood, cannot be broken by death or time. And though history recorded that in 1845 the O'Donnell brothers vanished, those who knew their story understood. They did not vanish. They became eternal.